Welcome to Backstories, the podcast where we dig deep into the untold tales behind the people, places, and moments that shape our world. Every month, we'll uncover the hidden narratives that inspire, surprise, and challenge us. So, grab your headphones and get ready to journey into the past, one backstory at a time.
All right, it's time for a first-time storyteller. So here we go. Show some love for our first-time storyteller, Layla, on turning 40.
Just a note, this is unfinished because I'm an 11th hour writer. I need some perception of pressure to be able to do just about anything. And so I got here at 6, and that's when I started working on it. Okay. My friend Allison and I were born 4 days apart in the same hospital in Silver Spring. Born on a Monday, I warmed the crib until her Friday arrival. We would reunite about 14 years later in Miss McGill's journalism class during our freshman year of high school. Allison and I became fast friends, sharing a love of many things, from writing to literature to film and music to menthol cigarettes and peach schnapps. The Venn diagram of our interests and appreciations overlapped massively, save for birthdays. Our attitudes on aging were drastically different. At the start of our friendship, we approached each birthday in our teens and early 20s with an appreciable level of excitement. Tackling milestones hand in hand, from sweet 16s to 18th birthdays spent at a strip club to 21st birthdays painting the town red. Once the milestones ran out, however, I noticed a peculiar sense of dread set in on Allison's part. Each birthday was something to be endured as opposed to being enjoyed. She described herself jokingly as the crypt keeper. I'd respond by referencing one of her favorite literary works and cry, "Don't say that, Wendy, we'll never grow up." She would laugh, her appreciation for J.M. Barrie's Peter Pan overriding the impending doom of getting older, allowing us to pivot in conversation. I suppose I quietly related to Peter Pan a bit too much in my 20s. There were periods of my childhood and my teen years that were turbulent at best and tough to navigate. Certain experiences forced me to grow up faster than I'd have liked. So in my 20s, and considered an adult by most standards, I opted for what I considered a softer life with few challenges. Now, reading that sentence now as a 40-year-old makes me laugh. What I considered a softer life was a life wrought with challenges and decisions to pursue an easier road in the face of these challenges, citing a shift in personal values as the primary reason to avoid tackling new obstacles. In retrospect, the kind of life I was so focused on provided me with blissful ignorance of the accomplishments of others. In concerning myself with my survival, landmark achievements like advanced degrees, marriages, having children, promotion, these things that my peers were concerning themselves with, were completely off my radar. With my blinders up, living day to day, even moment to moment during periods of struggle, kept me unaware. There is a part of 40-year-old me that is grateful for that. Truth be told, it wasn't until I was 39 that the thought of getting older became bothersome. After spending a good chunk of early adulthood living a fiercely independent existence, I found myself moving back in with my parents, back into the basement bedroom I spent a good portion of my teen years. I was single, still am. I was underemployed, in an uncomfortable amount of debt, and I was in the ground zero of a lot of my trauma. This situation laid the foundation for a lot of introspection, whether I wanted it or not. It was late summer, 6 months away from the next milestone birthday, when all of a sudden I became painfully aware of my station in life. I had fallen into the trap of comparison, the comparison game, secretly fixated on the full lives my siblings and peers had, and painfully aware of everything I had given up. It wasn't just freedom to move about my life as I pleased. I was hit with the impact of the culmination of my decisions. In opting for softness, I prioritized the wants and needs of undeserving partners. I made myself smaller to propel their success. An example. One night in my late 20s, I was drunkenly talking with Allison about one of the partner I was with at the time. And I made the bold statement, the most interesting thing about him is that I'm in his life. Allison responded with initial shock at the remark and then affirmed the claim. A sober me would later try to walk this statement back. Allison would bring up the comment a few times in the decade after I made it. I now stopped playing it off and just give an honest shrug. Punk rocker and spoken word artist Henry Rollins once said, "Half of life is fucking up, the other half is dealing with it." My 9th grade English teacher, Mr. Bradbury, quoted him one day as I perused his bookshelf, happening upon a copy of Black Coffee Blues. I didn't understand it fully until a few days after my 40th birthday. It was a day of discomfort. I had officially reached the halfway mark. Anything beyond 80 would be borrowed time, a gift probably undeserved. You know, as a culture, we shit on aging and treat turning 40 in particular like a curse. In the Rod Reiner classic, for example, When Harry Met Sally, for example, there's a scene in which Harry attempts to comfort Sally after she learns her ex Joe is getting married. After listening to Harry push back against her own self-criticism, Sally tearfully offers, "And I'm gonna be 40. "When?" Harry replies. "Someday," Sally responds tearfully, which Harry is quickly counters by saying, "In 8 years." And then Sally says something that planted a time bomb quietly in my teenage brain viewing the movie for the first time. But it's there. It's just sitting there like a big dead end, she sobs. I woke up at 40 to my dead end. And then I remembered that Rollins quote at some point in the day. The quote rattled around in the back of my mind for weeks as I fought a bout of residual birthday sadness. Were some dreams sacrificed? Perhaps. There were some dreams that are time and place specific. But the beauty of dreams is their resilience. The core ones never truly die. At their best, they're pursued. At worst, deferred. And that's as far as I made it. Thank you for letting me read.